The first steps to settling an estate after death in a family. That's our topic today. We'll get started right after this. Welcome back to our channel. I'm Kim Ward, certified probate real estate advisor, and I've been helping with homes in probate or a trust administration for over 20 years. Today's video is about the first steps to settling an estate after death in a family. Step 1, figure out who will be the estate representative. The first steps in settling an estate after death in a family involve determining who will be the estate representative. If there is a will, the executor named in the will is the representative. If there isn't a will, the case may need to go to the probate court to appoint an administrator. If the estate is small or can be passed on to other people informally, a close relative can serve as the estate representative. However, if there are disagreements among heirs or uncertainty about who should serve, seeking the advice of a lawyer, an attorney, a probate or trust administration attorney may be necessary. Regardless of who serves as the estate representative, they must act responsibly, keep good records, and communicate with everyone involved. Additionally, they have a fiduciary duty to manage the property in the best interests of the beneficiaries and may be held personally responsible for any losses to the estate's value if they fail to do so. Step 2, as estate representative, start gathering all the information and fulfilling your duties. After the death of a family member, the first steps to settle the estate include taking possession of the property, finding the will if there happens to be one, and getting certified copies of the death certificate, collecting assets and death benefits, identifying heirs and beneficiaries, checking safe deposit boxes, collecting mail, canceling credit cards and subscriptions, managing digital assets, and notifying the Franchise Tax Board and the Social Security Administration if necessary. It's important to be organized and ensure all necessary steps are taken to properly distribute the estate. Step 3, figure out who the heirs and beneficiaries are. The next steps in settling an estate after death in a family involve identifying the heirs and beneficiaries who are determined by the terms of the will, state law, or other estate planning documents. Heirs are those who inherit when there is not a will, while beneficiaries are those who inherit according to a will. However, determining who the heirs or beneficiaries are can be complicated, especially if the will is outdated, a beneficiary named in the will has already died, or there is a problem with the will. It may be necessary to consult a lawyer for assistance in identifying the heirs or beneficiaries. Step 4, identify and make an inventory of the decedent's property. If you are settling an estate after the death of a family member, another of the first steps to settling an estate is to identify and inventory all of the decedent's property. Real property refers to land and anything permanently fixed on it, while personal property includes tangible and intangible items. You will need to figure out how the property was owned, whether solely by the decedent or with someone else, and whether it was community property or separate property. Once you have identified all of the property, make a list of assets and debts, including a brief description, the value at the time of death, and how the decedent owned the asset, the value of the decedent's portion, and whether there are any claims can be filed against the asset for debt payment. This is an important first step in settling an estate, and you may need the assistance of an attorney again to ensure everything is done correctly. Step 5, figure out the best transfer process for the assets. The final step in settling an estate after a death in the family is to transfer the property to the rightful beneficiaries or heirs. The transfer process, it can be simple, or it may require formal probate court procedures, depending on the circumstances. It is essential to have a clear understanding of the process and requirements to ensure that the transfer is done correctly and legally. Thanks for watching. Again, I'm Kim Ward, certified probate real estate advisor. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. See you next week.